Good day there. Hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Dr. Sandra Stubbs. I am a doctor of psychology and also a licensed professional counselor. I have done this type of work for over 18 years now, and I teach hurting people every day how to navigate tumultuous landscapes of life. I teach them how to recognize pain, how to sit with pain, how to move past pain in order to live their best life. Now, I have an exciting project I like to share with you. So I have written a couple of books in the past. So I've got two that I've written years ago, like 2014. This is I Finish Strong, Maintaining the Audacity to Speak Peace in the Midst of the Storm. This is available on Amazon. And I also have a workbook, Declaring the Power and Authority to Succeed. Now, as a Christian counselor, I like to integrate this faith and mental health in order for people to have this balance that I can include my belief systems. I can include the power that is to be had as we live in Christ. And I can also pull skills and tools to use in my daily life. Now, most recently, I have written a couple of new books. One particularly that I've launched on March 1st, just a couple of days ago. It's entitled Holding On While Letting Go, Learning to Heal from Emotional Hurt and Bitterness. Now, there's a couple different versions available on Amazon. There is this Word file, it's no big graphics, but you're able to read the material and make notes within the book. And then on my website, drsandrastubbs.org, you're able to instantly download this ebook that's fillable and have colorful pages and kind of walks you through the different stories and the different questions in this systematic format. Now, you can access either one of these books, at whichever one best suits you. I want to take the opportunity in this show and discuss a little bit about how I came to this particular book and how I discovered this book cover and what it all means to me. So give me a little bit of time to kind of share that with you. Now, in 2014, let me look here when this book was written. This book was written in 2011, this Finish Strong. In 2011, I was doing a whole bunch of quirky things out trying to get my licensure, becoming a counselor and doing all those types of things. I wrote this book, surprisingly enough. This was written in 2012. I wrote this book while going through blindness in my left eye. Now, the blindness and the symptoms I were experiencing was really traumatic for me. So I wasn't able to put language to them and write them in that book. But I was able to find a pathway that allowed me to stay focused so that I could move forward in my healing journey. And such as may be helpful for you is that maybe you can't focus on the thing that brought you to this pain or the thing that brought you to this deficit in life. And maybe there has to be some other compelling focus that pulls you out of that particular storm or that particular way of thinking. And that may be your golden goose. That may be your thing that gets you back on the track to living and doing the things that you would like to be doing. Now, I want to share this book cover with you. This is the cover reveal. Now, this cover reveal, I had a lady from Fiverr to complete my cover reveal, and I gave the idea as to what I was looking for. Like, I wanted each of these particular books in this series, I believe there'd be 3, possibly 4. I wanted the books in the series to depict like a woman who was either gaining confidence or halted between 2 decisions and having to sit with that big emotional distress and make these choices. So the cover reveal looked like this. We just peeled a little bit back and give you a sneak peek into what the book cover may look like. And then the actual cover looks like this. So we have a woman who is kind of looking over her shoulder. And in the backdrop, you see the houses on fire, kind of her dreams, her hopes, everything that she's put her life into is kind of in this fire in the back, and she's turning away from it because sometimes it's hard to see your life's goals or what you've worked really hard on go down in flames. But many of us have experienced just that life has taken such a turn, and we're not sure how to face it. We're not sure how to come out of it. And so you can see the distress or the solemnness in her face. And there's this dichotomy between the fire and the smoke and the brimstones from the fire just kind of lighting on this side of her face, when this other side has a shadow of light, which now she has to turn to and figure out what's next. We also see in the backdrop here, this lady with the hands in her head, where she's in the house and she's having to make decisions and trying to hold it all together when it seems like things are falling apart bit by bit. Now, this is the book cover, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. So the holding on while letting go, learning to heal from emotional hurt and bitterness is just that. I want to show you kind of the differences between the drsandrastubbs.org, if you download the ebook from that website, and then what the other book may look like. And so this would be the downloaded version. Now the downloaded version, it'll download, it'll look just like you're seeing it on my screen. And so you'll get the full color version of it. You'll get a full outline. It's about 67 pages of downloadable material. I cover many topics in this particular workbook. This is very in-depth. Now, the chapter 1 through 6 or through 5, I deal with emotional hurt, bitterness of the soul, kind of describing what that may look like for people so that you're able to kind of take a look at that and ask yourself, is this me? Am I experiencing this? And where do I fall in this description? What's keeping you bound to bitterness is bitterness can kind of get its hooks in you, and it's a challenge to find your way out of this pain of bitterness. Heal through forgiveness and healing through self-compassion. And if you are seeing a counselor for the first time, things that you can kind of look out for. And for believers, because I realize there'll be some people who would be inquisitive of the information to get the skills, but may not be particularly Christian. And so I've added for believers a believer's bonus with healing scriptures that relate to each of the chapters within this book. So take this book as a workbook. There's beautiful graphics within the workbook. This is the downloaded version from the drsandrastubbs.org that you can access right there online. I dropped the price to $25.99. It originally was $65 because there is a 6-part ebook that are e-course that I've created that's going to come alongside and work with individuals that are dealing with this particular thing. So that's coming. That's not completely complete as yet, but that's coming. So healing from emotional hurt and bitterness talks about this healing path, this journey that you have to step outside of the pain, become inquisitive as to, how did I get here? Where am I? How did I get here? What is my route out? And being willing to sit with some descriptors as to where you are, what are the emotions that cultivate this surrounding, and how do I get out of this particular surrounding? So I'll just scroll here through the book. I want to show you some of the graphics. This is all background history. These are things that we must hold on to which I can probably pause here for a little bit, things we're going to hold on to. We've got to maintain a sense of connection and attachment, man. We're relational human beings. We've got to be in relation with other people. And anytime we're cutting off people, drawing lines in the sand, pushing people out, those boundaries, although they may be healthy for us, they can be very debilitating in the beginning. It can be really hard to think that I've got to cut mom out, or I got to cut sister out, or got to cut cousin out, and I've loved these people all my life, but they're just not being helpful to me right now. And so for this period, for this time, I've got to choose to take a step away from this toxic relationship. It's just not helpful. But we do have to maintain some sense of connection and attachment to something or someone. It's important that we're cherishing things, love, memories, specifically those things that add value, relationships, lesson learned. There are things that we have to hold on to in order to be sustained in our relationships. And by all means, there are so many things we need to let go of: mental junk, useless fodder, random information that only makes you upset, makes things worse, other people's drama, OPB, OPD, say farewell to. This shell of a person that we're becoming. We have to be willing to let some things go. You've got to lighten the load in order to walk in this preordained destiny that's been given to you, granted to you, graced to you by God. We can't go into this new level, this new dimension, this new realm, and carry all of the weight of yesterday. We have to be willing to offload some of these things. And so I'm just going to scroll down here, chapter 1, healing from emotional hurt. I just want you to see the fillable things here. Chapter 1 is definitions of bitterness, how to maintain, how bitterness is maintained, how we deal with stress and negative emotions. Chapter 2 is really where we get into the nitty gritty, where we're asking questions, contemplate lessons learned. And there's questions that you can fill out, like, what's your story? Everybody has a story. And as you can see within this document, you are able to open this up on your computer and actually fill in the document online so that you have it available. It asks you, what are your emotional process do you go through? What would you like to believe about yourself? All of these types of questions helps you get to the nitty gritty of what is nagging you, bothering you. And then I'm going to scroll all the way down here. Like, you can download this from my website for the believer. Here's your believer's bonus. Ways that you can get into the face of God. You can take all of these answers that you've come up with, and you can seek God's comfort, receive God's love and forgiveness. It gives you scriptures that you can go out here and you can begin to do this work. Now, get it. All of these handouts, these questions, all of this information, you can write it down, you can take notes in it. And when you are headed to your therapist's office, you can bring it in and say, look, here's some self-discovery. Let's just jump to the stuff. This is what I've learned about myself. This is what I come to know. These are the emotions that I hang out in most days. And this is what I like to change. So can we start here? It gives you a starting place to begin to divide and conquer and manage your emotional distress. Now, this is healing scriptures, and I love this. These healing scriptures are by chapter. So I talk about, like, how did we get into emotional hurt and bitterness? Here are some scriptures that you can use as you navigate your way out. Healing from bitterness. Here are some scriptures that you can use. It walks through each chapter and it gives you relative scriptures that you can use to navigate through the emotion that you're going through. So this is the Dr. Sandra Stubbs version of the book. And the book online with the Amazon, I don't have it up, or the one I would just show it to you. The Amazon book is pretty much just the Word file with all of the same information that's in this book. It just doesn't have all the pretty pictures or the fillable lines. But you can do the same type of work with the book on Amazon or with this ebook that's online. So I just wanted to share a little bit about the book. I'm so excited about it. I can't wait to hear testimonies about how people are using it and how it's instrumental in helping you to identify emotional distress and to find your way out, no matter how difficult it can be. And then, can I tell you this, that when you start to excavate some of these areas, it can be daunting, can be distressing, can be tiring. So that's why I encourage people to take notes, write things down, capture it, and then take it into your therapist office and say, hey, as I was reading through this, navigating through this, I began to understand that here is a part of my problem. I'd like to talk about this, so that they can probe with additional questions. The more that you're talking about this information, the more that you're reprocessing the content, the story that you're telling yourself about your trauma, the better able you are to now move away from the negative narrative and create a more empowering story that you can live with and that you can build your life upon. So I'm Dr. Sandra Stubbs. I'm so excited to share this book with you. And I plan to do more of these types of YouTubes so that people can understand kind of what the background is for each of these manuals. Now, I have maybe four that's coming out. And I'm excited about bringing them forward to you. There are this mix, faith and mental health, training your mind to be stronger than your emotions. You got this. You can do it. All right.